and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the next Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Cumberland County DA David Fried.
Our most solemn duty is the duty to protect our most vulnerable citizens, to protect our children, to protect the elderly, to protect, in many cases, victims of domestic violence. And I've spent my career trying to do that. We need to do more than simply file charges and make sure that bad guys are put away. We need to work on changing society. That's one of the reasons that we've proposed a unit for the Attorney General's office called the Special Victims Unit, with specially trained agents and prosecutors who will handle cases involving our most vulnerable victims, children and the elderly. And when those cases come in the door, we will ensure that those cases get the attention they deserve. Make sure that we can work together with DAs, whether they need us to do the case or they need technical resources or investigative help. And we'll make sure also that a gaping hole in the Attorney General's office is filled, that we have a victim advocate within the office. Risa has victim advocates she works with all the time. I have victim advocates within my office. We have advocates throughout the community that we work with. There's an advocate under the governor at the state level, but there's no victim advocate in the Attorney General's office. We'll change that right away when we get in. What I've learned as a prosecutor, both in and out of the courtroom, is that we have to be about doing justice, doing the right thing for the right reason. First, last, and always, protecting the victim. Protecting the victim doesn't always mean putting a victim on the stand. Protecting a victim doesn't always mean going to trial. It means assessing that victim's situation, trying to help them in any way that we can, whether it involves finding funds to change locks on a house, whether it involves in a murder-suicide, domestic violence murder-suicide, finding money to pay for the headstone for the murder victim. Those are the things that we can do as a prosecutor. Certainly, at times, we need to lock the bad guys up and throw away the key, and we can do that. We're perfectly capable of doing it. But we have a responsibility, as this job has developed in this day and age, to make sure that we're out there in society as it relates to what we do as prosecutors, advocating for change, advocating for the right policies that will protect the most vulnerable citizens in this state. We need to be talking about these issues. We need to be talking about domestic violence and child abuse, and we need to make sure that we as adults, responsible citizens, protect our most vulnerable. As a chief law enforcement officer in Cumberland County, it's what I've done for my career, and as a chief law enforcement officer of the Commonwealth, it's what I'll do working with my colleagues around this state. I want to thank everyone for being here, for this wonderful show of support. Amy and I appreciate it more than you can ever know. We're working hard on the campaign trail. We're going to be out there, as Risa said, talking about experience and qualifications. And with your help, we know that we can get it done in November. Thank you so much for being here, everyone.